Alrighty, welcome everyone, I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for a quick video to talk about the poll results. Last week, I put up a poll for Teehee Tuesday, and over the past week, we've had 715 responses, which is pretty great. That's awesome, so appreciate that. And at the end of things, we come out with a series of results that I'm going to talk to you about, and one major takeaway. And that major takeaway is that after 715 responses, the total difference in scoring between number 1 and number 2 on the poll is like 20. It's like 20. A little bit less, actually. What does that mean? It means that your vote counts, or would count if you didn't vote. And this is incredibly important for me to bring up because there's going to be another poll coming up soon, and it might be the most important poll slot on the channel. Depends. Some people might argue otherwise. Friday, we're going to finish Kimetsu no Yaiba soon, relatively soon, within a couple of weeks. The Swordsmith's Village arc will be done, and there won't be any more Kimetsu to do. So Fighto Friday will be open once more, and we'll be polling once more with a whole slew of interesting action shows and high-quality shonens and very popular pieces of media that are going to have to duke it out in the next poll. And the point is, your vote matters. It really does count. Within a tiny little bit, things could have won or lost in this most recent poll, and the same might be true in the next one. So if you're not already ready to vote in the polls, get ready for it, because it really does count. And it's easy to feel like one person's vote, oh, I'm just one person, I'm never going to matter. There are hundreds of people voting, and that might be true, but the way that the polling system works, your vote really, really does count, and can make a huge swing in the way that things turn out. So let's talk about the way that things turned out. And if you hate the results of this poll, there's one way that you could have helped to to allay that, and that is to have voted in it. However, let's talk about what we've actually got. We'll start with the negative side of things. There are a couple of these. Here are all the graphs. Ta-da! Here's all the data. Ta-da! And on the graph side, immediately a couple things jump out as bad times. Not a lot of middle finger style graphs this time. Not a lot of, like, overall totally don't care about this show. People seem pretty opinionated about these. The ones that get totally knocked out of the running are with a game-breaking negative 533 votes. Backstreet Girls is never going to show up on a poll again. Sorry. Seems like people really, really don't want to watch it. Second worst was Way of the House Husband, Goku Fushudo, or whatever. Did poorly. Nobody wants to see it. Solid, like a really solid showing for the Hell No's on this one. Like, really strong feelings of no. I think that has to do with the lack of quality in the adaptation, and it being called a moving manga a bunch, but I don't know. In any case, it's probably not going to show up on another poll. And Kamikatsu. Seems like more of a meh sort of thing, like people just don't care about it, but with another negative 324, that's pretty bad. Kamikatsu gets knocked off the block for sure. From there, it gets a little bit easier. Akiba Maid War has a negative 137, but mostly pretty ambivalent, all things considered. Prison School was very contentious. You can see that it's like straight flat across. There's a pretty hefty hell yeah segment and a pretty hefty hell no segment, and they just kind of balance each other out to be a total of 7. A total of 007, which is right in the middle. And not great, but not bad. 113 for Eminence in Shadow. Not too far away from that come our 3 top sort of winners. Grand Blue is number 3 there. Isekai Oji-san comes in with 172 as our runner-up and our second place. Seems pretty popular. People seem mostly interested in it, not disinterested in it. It's pretty cool. And we will be beginning later today, in just a few moments. I'm going to stop recording this and get it going, and then I'll start recording the first episode of Party Pikome. Party People Kongming. Your boy Kongming. A weird time-based thing where a historical figure gets transported to the modern day and becomes a rap producer? One of the weirdest premises that I've heard for a show, and I gotta say that I'm really excited to get into it. Ever since the rap episode of Kaguya-sama Love is War, I've had this, like, vibe of needing to watch Pari Pikome, and it's happening. It's happening! So, I'm gonna get to it. I don't have too much more to say here. These are the poll results. I hope that those of you who love data and things enjoyed this little breakdown of the poll results. I didn't get too super in-depth with it, but you can see all the data there if you want to get a little bit deeper. Let me know if I made any mistakes. If you see any typos or obvious mistakes in my maths, that shit happens. I just did the math, so mistakes happen, and if I made a horrible mistake and actually a different show won, let me know as soon as possible. For now, though, I'm going to watch episode 1 of Pari Pikome. Head over to the Patreon to get early access to it, as it'll be up sometime today. And also the ability to vote in the next polls, which are coming up. And also the thanking me for the work that I do. And the keeping this whole operation running, which is really good. Thanks so much, everybody. Overall notes, things are going pretty well on my side of things, I think. Feel mentally stable. Physically relatively stable, mostly okay. That's all pretty good. Been really enjoying playing Baldur's Gate. Been playing it the last couple of days. Might play a little bit later today, because that would be really fun. It's hot as balls, hotter than a witch's tit. I guess people normally say colder than a witch's tit. They're hot witch's tits. Let me tell you, hotter than a witch's tit out here in Southern California. Do not recommend. It's just gonna keep getting hotter, and that is what it is. Thanks so much for joining me for this quick little rundown of the poll thing. Come join us for the next polling cycle, which will be soon, and I'll see you for Pari Pikome if you want to join me for the first episode. Thanks for voting in the polls. Sorry to those who lost. Some of you will get a second chance. Some of you will not. Sorry, Backstreet Girls. You're never showing up on another poll again. Much love. Many thanks. See ya. Peace.